screen here. All right. What do you guys see on your end?
I see competition registration and I see Midwestern adult sectionals as an option.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go back to our home. We're going to start from the beginning. So in order to register for a qualifying or non-qualifying competition through our event management system, you do have to log into members only. So once you log in, you're going to come to this page here. You're going to click on the event management system icon. Then from here, we're going to click on competition registration. Now there's two tabs up here. You have your qualifying options, which will have a list of qualifying that you're eligible for based on that residency that you have in your club, and then your non-qualifying options, which we can see all three non-qual sectionals are shown as available to register. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the adult championships. Now, even though right now you can only register for a non-qualifying event, it is still a qualifying competition, so it's under that qualifying tab. So you're not going to find it under the non-qual tab. You must go to the qualifying and then find it right here. So I am in our test environment, and I was playing with it earlier. That's why it says continue registration. But if you're going on for the first time, it'll say register now. Either way, you click on this box here. And the first page is just going to give you an overview. This shows you the different categories and pricing that has been set up. You can look at IJS or 6.0. Then this just has a little acknowledgement box, so we just click here to move forward and continue. Now this is a reflection of your current member profile. So this has my home club, US Figure Skating, my region, my section. So again, that's why I qualified for the Midwestern sectional that you saw earlier on my screen. I am Jane Skater. Has my personal information, and we want to just verify that this is accurate. You do have the option to edit within here, or you can update your members only profile beforehand or after if you need to make any changes. So then we'll continue through here. And Aviva and Lori, please stop me along the way if there's any questions that come up that I need to address. We are now on the skate test portion, so automatically our system is connected to our membership database and test records. So this is what I have currently within my profile as recorded. Now, I did not previously have a pairs test recorded, so you can self-report and add that. That's why you see this little trash can here, because it was something that I added.
Yeah, I would add to this that these don't always automatically feed in. I went into mine today and it did not know my highest level of pattern dance, but it had everything else correct. But of course I could manually add the pattern dance, but don't necessarily expect it to have everything there.
Yes, and sometimes that the reason is that it may not have been verified on the back end. And so again, that's why we have that here, so it doesn't stop the process and you guys can continue moving forward and put in the test that you have and that information. So I'm going to continue on with the registration. Now this page is if you're in a partnered event, you want to click either pairs dance, or if you see duets, you might see that as well. If you are just a single skater, you don't plan on doing a partnered event, you just press continue. Okay, so I am going to do pairs. So I click off the pairs here. This is going to prompt me to add my partner. So what's great about this too is that, again, it's tied to our database. So I'm going to find our partner, my partner, for pairs, and that's going to be
John Skater.
John.
I was hoping it was John Skater.
Total gas.
He's a great skater. Okay, so here's John Skater pulled up from the database. If there's, you can search by member number if you know your partner's member number, or by name, and then it'll show you the different options.
Oh, he's a member of my club.
So you do know him.
Yeah, I might know him.
Okay, so here's where I added my partner. If I need to go back and change it, I can change here or remove. And I'm going to continue moving forward.
I have a question. If someone competes pairs and dance and they have different partners, they have to do like 2 totally different separate registrations, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and only one partner registers for the team. So we want to make that clear. It's one registration, 1 point of access for practice ice. So make sure you discuss within your team on who that person's going to be. With the communications, we do have the option to include the partners and on the reporting and everything. So just because your partner maybe registered the team doesn't mean you're not going to get communication that goes out through the system.
We got a good question. If you add a test manually to your test history, a couple page back, is it verified for accuracy?
Yes, it is stored into our system. And so we definitely do, the due diligence of verifying it. And then also the adult skating community is also great at verifying, making sure people are in the correct events. And if you guys run into any roadblocks with that, we do have a product support team that is at headquarters that you can email or contact during office hours at productsupport@usfigureskating.org. So if something's not showing up or you're not able to get through a certain section of the registration, please reach out and they'll be able to assist. Okay, so now we're at the event selection area. So this is going to show all the events available based on my test eligibility. So I am actually going to sign up for all of these lovely events. We just click on add and it's going to add to my cart. All right, and my partner meets the requirements, so that's good.
Good job.
And we're going to move forward. Okay, so this is new this year. In the past, you guys may have seen a form site link that you have to fill out for intent to compete questions. We were able to get this built into the system this season, which is awesome because then we'll be able to record your binding answers right here when you register. So the question is, you have 3 different options here. I'm registering for a non-qualifying free skate dance partnered or solo pairs event, and I intend to compete in all events, even if I qualify for the championship. So if I'm signing up for a singles event in the non-qual and I still qualify, am I going to compete in all the events? Then I click here. If I choose not to skate in this event, if I qualify, so therefore we're switching it out, then I'm going to click here. Then the last option is just I'm only doing the non-qualifying. I didn't sign up for a qualifying event through sectionals. Then you want to click here. So this is new. Again, this is binding. We do have a track record here. If you happen to click the wrong one by accident, just reach out to us and we'll correct that answer for you. But hopefully this eliminates some extra steps on our end and we get this information up front to move forward.
Jamie, we got a question. If the EMS system knows to only allow athletes to pick for events?
That is a good question. Because
yeah, we don't know. It's every athlete's responsibility to know the rules. So there may also be cases where you see that you're being offered an event in your list of ones to sign up for that you're not eligible for. Right. That's because of the way the eligibility requirements are. Some are based on certain years of tests, dates of tests. There's some overlap. So it is your responsibility to have read the rules and the announcement to make sure that you are entering the correct level. Just because it's being offered to you in EMS does not mean that you are eligible to skate in that event. I'm
going to take some really quick questions from the comments. Yeah. Someone's asking, what if you only register for light entertainment and dramatic events? That is still through the EMS system. They are still part of the adult champs and adult sectionals. Even if you are not doing a more technical event, this is still where you will register. And someone also wanted to know if they register for a champ event and don't make the top 4, can they still compete in their age group event at the adult champs? whether or not you qualify, you can still do your age group event. A lot of people will choose to do what we call the open event and the champ event, seeing it as a warm-up, actually. So that's very common. So either way, regardless of how you place in champ, you are still welcome to compete in your open event.
Yeah, but the important thing to realize, Beth, is that if you're going to do that, you need to make that decision before February 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because you can't wait until after sectionals to see if you qualify and then register, because both competitions registration deadline February 1st.
Yes, final.
Final, period, no exceptions. Yeah.
Is it like 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, February 1st?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to give you the maximum amount of time, but that's all you have. And it's plenty of time because since we started opening yesterday,
Yeah.
everybody has that opportunity to go in and do so. All right, so we're going to continue here. We did our intent to compete question. I'm going to click continue. And then this is where we get to our coaches area. This again is tied to our database, just like the partners was that you saw earlier. So you can add in your singles coach, your peer coach. It's going to show up the same thing that we saw before. I'm not going to have a coach, so I'm going to say I'm attending without one to continue. All right, so we're now at the waivers and release. This is an area that if you've competed already within a competition within EMS, I believe it's within the last year, you're going to have this automatically checked off with the information that you've signed off on these waivers. So since I was in here earlier, it says I've already completed it, but basically what it would look like for anybody new coming on, you just put in your name and then your relationship. So this is, again, this is built for all areas, not just the adults, for our minors too. So we just fill in the name. You can click here to download the consent forms. So that way, if you want to keep it on record or read it prior to consenting, which you should, then you do so by clicking on this download button and media and likeness release. Okay, so once you do it once, it stays in there, and then we can continue. All right, now we are getting to the final stages, which is our cart. So here are the 4 events that I added to my cart. And we see we have an admin fee and then our subtotal, and we click check out. So now if you need to go back to revise your cart, you have the back button here, and then it will update. You'll be able to move forward with the checkout process. Okay. So for checkout, we're going to do billing address. It's going to pull in all your automatic information from your members only profile, which is very convenient. So we just want to verify that that is correct. You have to make sure that postcode, zip code is accurate to your billing, and that's really what it's going to base off of. This pulls in from your members only, but make sure you're double checking your card if that zip code matches. So I'm going to continue, and nobody steal my information. All right, this gives me another summary here before I decide to charge my card. And I'm going to authorize payment. Now, once it finishes authorizing, it's going to show me a picture of the invoice, and you automatically get an emailed invoice to your email within your members only profile. So make sure that is accurate, because that is where this information will be going. It's just taking a second. So here we go with the invoice. We have an invoice number and a breakdown receipt of what we just purchased. So now I'm officially registered for the competition.
Yay!
But you're not the first.
No.
We actually had our first competitor sign up yesterday.
Do we know what time they signed up?
I don't remember, but I checked yesterday evening, and there was a person signed up already.
It wasn't
Awesome.
me.
Pardon?
It wasn't
I don't
me.
want to say who. It wasn't you.
It wasn't.
Asking who.
I'm more of I'm more the mid to late January crowd.
Yeah. So we had a few questions come in while Jamie was going through the registration. Some we covered. I'll answer it really quick because we get this one a lot. You do not need to compete at the adult sectional championships to compete at the U.S. adult figure skating championships unless you want to compete in a qualifying event. So for all of the open events, you do not have to go to adult sectionals.
You're welcome to, though.
Yes, we'd love to see you there. We had another one. Do we pay for both qualifying and non-qualifying if we choose both? Is the cost of a secondary event? So I think Mary Kay is asking if you sign up for qualifying and you advance to the U.S. Adult Figure Skating Championships, are your non-qualifying events then charged at the second event, third event costs? And I believe that that's true. Jamie's nodding. So
yes, that's true. Mm-hmm. So we treat it just as if when you qualify, that first event is going to be that $160 price, and then the second event is $145, or third event.
So I think Jamie was going to show us practice ice.
So I don't actually have anything to show, but I'm going to explain practice ice. Right now, we do not have practice ice available for adult championships. It will be coming online soon. So stay tuned in January. We will be doing, the LOC has decided to do some package offerings pre-purchase. So the communication, again, will be found and posted on the competition website, on the social media, and we'll also communicate through EMS and email out that practice ice plan once it gets finalized, and we can share that with you guys. Right now, Eastern Adult Sectionals does have a pre-purchase practice ice option. And so when there is a pre-purchase option, that gives you as a skater the ability to purchase a credit. Then you have first dibs when the schedule's ready to then select the available practice ice offering before it's available for anybody else if they did not pre-purchase that credit. So definitely take that opportunity to do so. And to get to that, once you have registered, like you can see on my screen now, you'll be able to go up into the competition that you registered for, click on the practice ice and schedule tab, and then you'll be able to select your practice ice credits or offerings within that tab there. So if you do run into any issues or you don't see something or you have questions, again, revert to the product support team or reach out to the LOC chair or competitions chair or practice ice chair for the competition and ask the questions to them. If it's something they can assist you with, they will forward it on to product support to assist.
And just while we're on this page, I want to call out that EMS is also where you'll upload your music and your planned program content. Planned program content is only if you are competing in an IJS event. So for example, if you register for bronze free skate, you do not need to worry about planned program content. Whereas if you register for gold free skate, you will need to upload your planned program content. And closer to the time, we'll publicize deadlines for when your music and your planned program content need to be uploaded.
Yes, for all qualifying competitions, it is 1 week prior to the event start date. And then the non-qual is up to the LOC. And so it will show in your skater portal when the deadline is, and then also be on the competition websites to look out for. There will also be automated reminders sent to you all. Once you've registered, there's 4 reminders leading up to the deadline to make sure you don't forget when that deadline occurs. Note that the non-quals for the sectionals do have the ability to charge you a late fee if you do not submit by the deadline. So make sure you get that in beforehand. And you can do it as soon as you register. So if you're already set and you're ready for the season, go in and do it now, and you can edit it if it needs a change. But the sooner the better, then you don't have to think about it or potentially miss it.
A few more questions came in. Championship bronze, we don't offer championship bronze. So if you're a bronze level skater, there is no qualifying event at that level. So you have the option to sign up for your age class events. And then the other question was from someone, and I'll turn to Jamie to answer this one. And that is if you're going to register and you don't see the event that you would like to register listed as something that's an option for you, what should you do?
Great question. So if you are anticipating to see an event, or first thing is check the announcement to make sure the competition is actually offering the event you're looking for. Then reach out to product support at usfigureskating.org, or call headquarters office to speak to one of the representatives. And what they'll be able to do is troubleshoot from your end to see what you're seeing and what the reasons why you are not seeing that eligible event. And it may not be turned on as an available offering, and that may not be done for certain reasons, but they can definitely assist you with that. But first thing is checking the announcement, and then after that, going to product support.
Yeah, so Nina, you wouldn't necessarily contact the LOC first, but you would look in the announcement for the adult sectional non-qualifying competition, see if it's listed. If it is listed and you're certain that it's at the competition, then you would contact product support at US Figure Skating headquarters for help registering through EMS.
And if the event isn't being offered, and that's something you still want to inquire or pursue, then we can definitely get in touch with the LOC chair and the chief referee to see if they'd be willing or wanting to add that event if there's interest.
Awesome. Is there anything else EMS related that we needed to do?
One thing I failed to mention earlier, I'm obviously on my desktop right now, but we switched over to a completely mobile view and platform for registration. So all things registration, practice ice, music, and PPC can all be done on your mobile device. So you do not have to be at a desktop computer to do so. And it all looks the same now here. So I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. Also, coaches, for your coaches, please let them know they do have access to EMS, and they can see which skaters they have registered for their events. They can look and see if they have their music and PPC uploaded. There's a lot of coaches that are still not aware that they have the ability to access EMS, but you as a skater have to tie them as your coach in order for them to have access.
It just keeps getting better.
Awesome.
It does.
Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think of anything. Oh, we can go into volunteer requests if we'd like to do that.
Yeah, let's do the
since it's open.
Yeah, let's do volunteering now while you're screen sharing, and then you won't have to share. So basically, we encourage absolutely everyone, whether you're coming to the Adult Champs as a competitor or a spectator, to be a volunteer. There are many ways to volunteer at the Adult Champs. Some popular options are that you can be an ice monitor or you can be a sweeper. I have personally been a sweeper. I did that in 2018 in Marlboro. I can tell you that not only is it fun, but it is a wonderful cardio workout, and I recommend the experience. So volunteer management is in EMS, and that's what Jamie is about to show you. And the volunteer requests are already open now, and it's just that you won't have shift selection until March. And part of that is because if you're also a competitor, as we mentioned prior, the schedule is not out. So then you'll be able to select a volunteer shift.
You're just joining us. No schedule.
No schedule, sorry. You'll be able to select a volunteer shift that works with your schedule as a competitor as well. So that's why the shift selection isn't open. So Jamie will show us a little preview of this.
All right, so here I am on the main members only page once I've logged in. So there's two ways to get to the volunteer opportunities. It's under this quick links here, or you can click on EMS. You'll see volunteer opportunities down here. Now this is going to show you all volunteer opportunities with in EMS that US Figure Skating is involved in. And so right now we have, you can see some synchro, our US Championships is open here, and here's our adult competition. So we're gonna put in the request by just clicking here. We're gonna verify the information. This is pulled from your profile. I wanna make note that you do not have to be a member of US Figure Skating to be a volunteer. So that is a big message for everybody. So if you have a friend or family member or anybody that wants to get involved, they can create a non-member account for free, and they will generate a member number for you and a password and you'll have the exact same access that a member would to these volunteer opportunities. All right, so I need to put in some emergency contact information. So let's see here.
So this is what I learned the other day. You can use the blue pencil in the upper right of that screen.
Oh,
so you don't have to
on our
go to your
okay. So hold on, our faces are actually blocked. Can I move
our faces are covering it?
Here we go. I'm moving our faces. All right, I move this down so then you can see what the pencil.
Okay, perfect. Emergency contact. Put in myself. I'm going to say friend.
So while she's typing, something to realize is, we have to find hosts for these competitions each year. And the more that we can do to make the job of the LOCs easier, the easier it is to host. So if they know that the adult skating population is going to help fill the volunteer needs for hosting the big competition, it makes it much easier for us to place the competitions in the future. And I think this is becoming more and more popular as the years go on for competitors to actually volunteer. You're still getting to watch your friends if you're an ice monitor. In fact, you're getting to talk to them and wish them good luck right as they get on the ice.
Yep, absolutely. So once we've verified our emergency and contact information, we come into the experience page. So this helps the LOC or volunteer manager that is approving the volunteers, essentially, and then putting them into approving the shifts that are selected. Understand your background as a volunteer. Do you have experience in figure skating events, and what does that experience look like? So you can check off here and type in any information that you'd like. You can say, as a volunteer skill set, you can say that you're reliable, or any type of attributes that expresses your skill set. And then once you've completed that, we just agree to the terms and conditions, in which you can click on this link to read so before you submit. And now I'm going to submit my request. Perfect. So now I've officially submitted my request as a volunteer for the Adult Championships. And what will happen is on the LOCN, they're going to get a notification that a volunteer has signed up. You're going to automatically be put into a pending status until they go in and approve you as a volunteer. Once you're approved as a volunteer, then you'll have access and come back into EMS for that shift selection once it's open. So the communication, again, will go through the system. You'll receive it as an approved volunteer upon the lead up of your shifts that'll be available. Once the shift selection opens, you'll see all the shifts selected here. You will select them and then request to get approved. So it is a two-step process, and they are going to approve everything on a rolling basis. So the LOC will be checking periodically to make sure that you're getting approved as a volunteer, and then when the shifts come in, that you'll be able to get approved for those shifts that you select.
Just go do it now. There's no risk.
Yeah, do it
Cost
now.
you nothing. Sign up.
Why
The
not?
LOC will see you're interested
so
in helping
quick
out,
and
and then you'll get an email later, and then you can see what fits in your life. Just sign up.
Absolutely. So it should be a very simple process, especially if you already have a member number and you can get into the system. Go ahead and do it right now. If you have anybody that isn't a member and they need assistance in creating that member number, all it is, honestly, is just going to members only. And I'm just going to show you a really quick screenshot. So once you go to usfigureskating.org, you're going to go to your login here. There's a little link that says non-member account, create account. So you just follow these steps. I'm a volunteer, created an account. Again, you'll get your member number and password, and then you use that to go back into the volunteer opportunities and follow the steps we just went through.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Gonna continue with some other adult